when your dog smells your neighbor's garden and brings home. Aw, hold on. Hello friends, welcome to Mommy and Me Homestead. My name is Danielle and I thought it'd be fun today to take a walk through our garden spaces. We garden in Garden Zone 9B and we have garden spaces in our front yard and our backyard. We're just in a suburban neighborhood. We don't have a lot of space, but we definitely try to be good stewards with what we've been blessed with. So we're gonna take a walk through. We have 4 raised beds and then we have 8 pots with my herbs in it and a couple other things, and then we have a little bit of in-ground garden in the front yard and in-ground garden in the backyard. This is our very first time ever doing a fall garden, ever gardening in general, and I thought it would be really fun to document it and to remember what our first time looked like, get to compare it to next year and all the years to come, because this just brings so much joy to our household and the kids love it. A lot of our garden was destroyed by the chickens and the ducks. Can't leave out the ducks, they did contribute. So we're just gonna take a walk around and see what's left. We plan to put our seedlings in the ground in the next couple weeks. I looked at my 10-day forecast and it's gonna get up to the 80s, and I don't see any cold weather, but I'm definitely gonna wait till after my estimated last frost date. It doesn't affect the seedlings. They're still in soil, still getting sun, still getting their nutrients and their water. So putting them in too early really can only hurt. So we don't wanna hurt them because we love them. So I hope you guys enjoy taking a look at the end of our very first ever fall garden. It's been a blessing to us. All right, so we'll start off with our transplants and our seedlings. These are some of the beans. Yesterday we had incredibly cold weather and there was actually some frost damage to some of these. So I clipped off any of the leaves that were severely damaged so the energy would go to forming new growth instead of repairing. These are more. Some of these need to be potted as well, so we'll be doing more of that soon. Here are our tomatoes. Still only 2 peppers. Our germination has been pretty bad, so we're gonna have to probably replant, but it was really cold, so I understand. Here are more beans and my okra. This is one that has damage that I missed, so because there are new leaf growth, they can still photosynthesize, so we're okay to clip off the frost damaged leaves. It was very cold yesterday. Now for our herb garden, make the ducks a little duck bath. So we have hyssop there, thyme here, and oregano here, and these all were planted last year, and this is what's left after the birds have had their share. And the frost doesn't kill any of these. They are perennial, so they do come back. They're doing well. This is where we had basil. Obviously that's not frost hardy, so it died. Right here is where we had dill. Again, not frost hardy, so it died. And then that is our parsley, which even though the birds completely obliterated it, it still is doing really well. It's all coming back and there's new growth and it looks healthy in my opinion. This is the last of our herbs. This is our sage plant. Yeah. Yeah? Yep. Oh, look. Oh, hi, Finn. Obviously the dogs also munch. It's, you know, gotta get your veggies in. Good boy. We have 4 raised garden beds. Hi. What you doing? You checking on the seedlings? Pretty kitty girl? All right, so we'll start with this bed. So the bleach actually worked really well. I don't see any new growth, and what was there has pretty much disappeared. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing to my other 3 trellises. That way I can finish them before I have to transplant my transplants in. Here are my snap peas. I never have successfully grown these. I put them in the ground with a lack of nitrogen and last year, and by the time the soil was doing well, it was so hot that they pretty much died. There are radishes. I really think it's important to learn to save seeds. And so a lot of what you'll see left, I am letting go to seed. That way I can preserve and save my own seeds. So these are radishes I'm letting go to seed. This is a Chinese broccoli plant that is big and beautiful, and the pollinators are really enjoying it. Lexi, out! Lex, come on! What are you doing, silly girl? These are mustard greens. I planted way too many way too close, so I just kind of pull one out here and there and feed it to the birds. Maybe that's where they get the idea to destroy my garden. Right here is some really pretty lettuce that, again, the chickens ate, but a little bit of it is left. I don't know how much longer it'll do since it's starting to finally warm up, which we're pretty excited about. Oh, and then last in this bed we have kale. This is, again, what's left after the chickens completely destroyed it. And right there is the cilantro. It's our first time growing cilantro. In this bed we have garlic. I've trimmed all the garlic so that way it would not signal to the plant that there's no more need to have the bulb grow. And then there's more garlic over here. This, I believe, is a calendula. I'm super excited. First bloom. So right here, 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 and here, we have chard. They're finally thriving. They struggled over the winter, but they didn't die. The frost never killed them. Here we have parsnips. Again, I just kind of threw the seeds in the garden bed over the winter, and this is what's left. Here we have what's left of the lettuce in this bed. The chickens ate most of it. And the peas, what's left of our peas, because again, the chickens ate most of it. And I did have one of those Chinese broccoli plants. I had it right here. So it was shielding a lot of this from getting sunlight. So we just took that out this week. Then over here we have our carrots. And then a couple volunteer sunflowers that I really love volunteers. It's a joy for me to have things volunteer in the garden. So this is our crazy onion bed. I grew them all from seed at different times. The very first set over there, I didn't know there was a difference between short day and long day or intermediate, and so I just bought a pack of onion seeds, and they are long day and we are in the short day area. So I don't expect a whole lot from there. I mean, we'll definitely still eat them and use them because they're onions and they taste the same. I just don't expect large bulbs. This group is all short day, and what I had tried to do was break it up and transplant it out, and they didn't make it. They didn't do well, and the chickens really destroyed it. This is our last remaining sunflower. It's beautiful, and it's a seed we saved from some of ours, which were seeds I saved from my mom's house. Pretty cool. It's like a third generation sunflower. And then we have, I believe, another calendula right there. And then this, I believe, is bee balm, but I don't actually know what I planted there. Sometimes that happens. and then now that I'm looking, I think I see some chamomile. Perfect. And then this bed, in this bed right here, I have a chamomile that made it through the winter. I have my arugula I'm letting go to seed, and everything else was pretty much destroyed by the chickens. I had a bunch of strawberries that I had planted here. I plan to take those to my daughter and my son-in-law when I go visit them this month, and they've pretty much destroyed them. And then here's what I have left of the strawberries. I just don't have room. I don't know where to put them. Last is this. This is the top of our hill in the back of our yard. And we had a ton of broccoli and Brussels sprouts, and the birds just completely destroyed them. They ate them all. So I was under the impression that ducks wouldn't eat your plants. That's not true. They absolutely eat plants if they can reach them. They actually pulled each of the leaves off of every sunflower. We had a line of sunflowers lining our wall. I'll find a picture and I can put it up here. It was so pretty, but they destroyed all of it, whatever was left, which is fine. This is our first time gardening and their first time gardening. I'm okay with it. Okay, so here is our front garden. In here we did like a second planting of our brassicas once the birds destroyed everything in the backyard. So we have mixed in broccoli and Brussels sprouts and then a whole bunch of volunteer sunflowers. We hang our sunflowers up there to dry and also to give to the bird. We find them sweet, and all of this is from volunteers. It's very cool to me. Right here along there, right here is our potato patch. We do succession planting. We planted our first row right here, and then we'll just do row after row. I think we fit 4 last year. This is our strawberry patch, which you have seen us plant or transplant. We pulled everything up and then replanted it. This is our spicy pepper section. I did not plant it in the back because I did not want it interfering with our sweet peppers and making anything sweet spicy. And I also didn't expect it to survive all of the frosts. Some of the plants did die, but a lot of them have remained, and it's really cool. So this section right here is where I planted various things there last year, and I'll kind of see what makes sense to plant here. We're going to do it a bit different. And this is our flower portion. The idea behind the flower part of this is technically where we live, you're not supposed to plant food in your front yard, but I don't have enough room in my backyard for the amount of things I want to grow. So we kind of created a wall of big beautiful cosmos last year, and then a bunch of flowers in front of it. Why did we do a flower garden?
I love flowers and they're beautiful.
That's right. So we decided to go to a nursery and buy a bunch of starts because our flowers and our seeds were just taking too long, and it was a little disheartening. So the green pops in the flowers kind of brought joy and helped to satisfy our desire for pretty while we were waiting to figure out what was wrong with our seedlings. And I wasn't expecting actually this many of them to survive the frost, because I didn't buy any of this intentionally, like saying I know what this is, I'm going to plant it because it can survive. I just purchased them because they were pretty. I think our favorite thing is this plant, and to be honest, I have no idea what it is. But it is so beautiful.
I don't know what it is.
So this is our front garden. Beautiful. The other really fun thing that we found over by where we put our trash cans is a ton of Cosmo volunteers. We threw our Cosmo plants away last year when it was the end of the growing season, and I was not expecting this many or any volunteers really, because the plants were kind of dead, and I just didn't think about it. But this actually brings me a lot of joy. And as far as volunteers in my front yard, other than crabgrass, we have these cosmos right here. Beautiful. It is so exciting to see plants that you started from seed, because all of the cosmos we did make babies. It's really fun. Here's a close-up of all of the volunteers and followers. Thanks for watching Mommy and Me Homestead. Grace and peace
Peace from my family to yours.